I'm ready. Jim, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Hi.
Robert, can you hear us?
I can.
All right,
All
we're good to go.
Hey.
I'm going to keep you both muted for now.
I'd like to call the meeting to order for March 9th, 2021. Would you please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you please join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Sheets.
Here.
Trustee Hunter.
Here.
Trustee Grant.
Here. Okay. We have no minutes to approve. We have our financial report. I will make a motion to pay our expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Grant.
Okay, and we will move on to our visitors. Thank you for joining us, Jim, by WebEx, and we will turn it over to you.
Okay.
I think.
Good evening. Has everybody had a chance to observe the renewal?
Yes, I looked at it last.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are coming in at 5.84% increase, which is actually very good. The trend has been mostly, good ones have been 9%, and then I've seen them as high as 30%, and even with some really healthy groups, and it was just more age trend and that type of thing. The only adjustment in the plan design, everything's the same in terms of the deductible. The out-of-pocket's gone up $1,000 on the back end for a single, or $2,000 for a couple or family. And what that is, that's all made up of prescription drugs. That won't impact the HRA that we have in place, because the way you guys are set up, you've got automatically loaded for $3,000 for a single, or $6,000 for a couple or family. And then there's an additional $1,000 or $2,000 that can be earned in the wellness credits. So the full deductible can be earned up front just like it was before. And then the rest of that out of pocket is made up of RX copays. The only other difference is they went to a 2-tier RX. And what that essentially means, if you look at, really Walgreens is a tier 2. So if you go to Walgreens, you're going to pay $10 more prescription. Everything else looks to be tier 1. Giant Eagle, what else we Rite Aid, or not Rite Aid. Where's my list? Let me pull this up real quick. So you got CVS, Target, Costco, Giant Eagle, Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, and Sam's Club are all tier 1. So really Walgreens is the only one that would be a tier 2, and it's only $10 more prescription, whether it's generic, branded, non-formulary, or branded formulary. And that's essentially it. Any questions?
So there's not a list, it's just Walgreens?
Well, I'd send out a list. I can send it. It shows the tier 1. The Walgreens is the most prominent. Let me pull this back. Rite Aid, which I don't, do we have any Rite Aids? I'm not even familiar if there's any still around. That's tier 2. And then Mark's, which I don't know anybody that uses Mark's for the pharmacy, but Mark's would be a tier 2. That's it.
That sounds pretty good then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just obviously the tier 1 pharmacies, they have a better deal than, I guess, Walgreens. They don't have quite as good a deal in processing. So trying to, it's a way to keep the cost down.
Can you explain what you said about the HRA account again?
Yeah, the way you guys have your HRA set up, if an individual or a couple or family, if they do everything they need to in terms of wellness, the deductible is 100% paid for. And you guys have a $4,000 for a single, $8,000 for a couple or family. They get the 3 or 6 up front. They do the wellness, they get additional 1,000 or 2,000, which fully covers the deductible. So really, the only cost is after the deductible's met, it's RX copays on the back end. So as compared to what we used to have, it's a very rich plan. And I think we saved quite a bit of money moving to this as well.
So we don't have to adjust our HRA in any way then?
No, because the deductible hasn't changed at all. In fact, the whole plan is exactly the same except the tail end, the additional out of pocket. The RX copays haven't even changed either, other than if you go to Walgreens, you'll pay $10 more for a prescription.
And was it the Health Net that is billed separately now? Is it Health Net or the doctor?
Oh, Healthiest You?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's billed directly from them. It's still PIBA pricing, so there was no increase. And, it's no consult fee for that. And there is behavioral health included in it, as well as dermatology at no consult fee. So that was something they added a year or two ago.
Okay, and that's the $4 an employee.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Pretty simple. Any other question? Any issues or anything that's come up or?
I don't have anything, I don't think. Anybody else?
I have none.
I have
Robert,
none.
you're unmuted if you have any questions.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, you guys know how to reach me if anything comes up, so.
Okay, so do you just need, this page 9 back from us? This, with the signature?
I'm not even sure if we need anything back.
Okay.
I think what I'll do is I'll let Michelle know that you guys are renewing as is. If she needs something, I'll let you know. But I think United Healthcare is the only one that has you sign something. Otherwise, if you renew as is, I don't think there's anything you have to do.
Okay, I will confirm that with you tomorrow then.
Okay,
All right.
sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks. Good seeing everybody. Hopefully, I get to see you in person next time.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Thanks, Jim. Good night.
Bye. Do you want to go ahead and
Sure.
amend the last emotion?
Yeah, we already took that one off the table, right? Or we rescinded it? Okay,
Did we? We didn't.
I don't believe
No,
so.
we didn't.
okay.
We didn't, did we, Paula?
We were gonna,
Last meeting, you only did 2 resolutions, but it
That's
wasn't
right.
like this.
Okay,
I think we
so,
waited so we can just amend it.
okay, well, I don't know which one it was to amend it. Will you be able to look up the number if we amend that resolution?
That's why I'm saying that neither one of the
I think it was the
resolutions.
meeting before that we did
Oh,
it.
yeah, I wasn't here, so I'm not sure. We have to go back and look. And I need a copy of that stuff because I don't have any of that insurance information.
Okay, I've got it here.
I might have it with me.
Yeah, I didn't bring my folders. I don't think it was I think last meeting we talked about this, and the meeting before we talked about it when it was like 5%, and then we got the 5.84.
None of these packets, I didn't have all my notes. I think this was the extra copy. I think I have it.
Well, should you want to just rescind that resolution adopting the health insurance
Whatever.
renewal and
Probably
just make a new
the
one?
best way to do it.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to rescind the resolution approved at the February 4th meeting.
Or on the first one and.
I think it was on the
first-
ninth.
Okay, for February 9th meeting regarding the health insurance renewal.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes. And I will make resolution 25 to renew our current health insurance policy with a 5.84% increase. And that will-
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
25 was to rescind that, right?
Oh, shoot. Larry. I guess I did it. Is it a resolution or a motion to rescind?
I don't know. Motion, let's leave it at a motion. So resolution 25 was to accept the 5.84%. Okay. All right. Okay, are we ready to move on to departments? Deputy Carter is here the fourth Tuesday of the month, so that's why he's not here tonight. And later on in our minutes, I have some messages from him. To things, so we will move on to road department. Robert?
Can everybody hear me okay?
Loud
Yes.
and clear.
Good. Well, between the last meeting, we had one burial. We've gone back to making our second round of filling potholes. We have, well, the other day, the guys went around to the subdivisions where we were plowing out cul-de-sacs and we do it every year, tear up a little bit of grass. We'll put that back and it usually takes right back off in the spring. The only other thing I had was we got our bridge inspection report from the county engineers. And that's just showing the condition of the bridges that are in the township.
Okay.
Oh, well, one other thing. Yeah, I spoke to a lady in Oakhurst about, she was concerned about speeding cars. And I did contact Deputy Carter about that, and he's kind of working on a plan about getting the speed trailer in there. And then she'd also like a couple other watch children signs. So I told her that really wasn't any problem.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. I have a little bit on that too, under new business. So thank you. Anything else for Robert? Okay. Moving right along to the chief, fire department.
Good evening, everybody. We finished February at 97 runs for the month. We're still over, our average is over 100 runs per month for the year so far. I had 20 runs down for the month of March, but I think these guys have run like 7 or 8 calls today, so we're well over that now. Of note, we did have 3 grass fires today, and I just want to remind the public, anybody that watches this post, online later, that the months of March, April, and May, there's no burning from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's a state law in Ohio, so we'd appreciate it if folks would heed that. It would definitely lessen our grass fire responses. The reason for that is, there's less humidity during the day, and it's a little windier, especially in the springtime during the day. So we'd appreciate it if the folks that do burn in the township, and we know there's burning, that they wouldn't do that between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So,
But they can burn
I'm sorry?
after 6 p.m.?
It is permitted after 6 p.m. According to that's no DNR rule. So Ohio
Doesn't
Department of
really
Natural
make
Resources.
sense.
I understand that, but as long as you're within the law, the EPA laws, which, you know, are easily found online, you can still burn. And I mean, let's be
I've
honest. I
seen
mean,
the signs.
we live in, we live in a rural area, you know, so people are going to burn out here regardless of whether it's illegal or not. And, you know, we just ask them to kind of be conscious of, especially windy days and days like today where the humidity is very low and the grass is dry. And everybody thinks, oh, the snow just melted, the ground's wet and everything. That's great. The ground's wet, but the wind blows the top dead layer dry really quickly. And that's where we get the grass fire. We had one out on 71 today. We had one up on, Georgesville, Wrightsville, by the golf course, ditch fire. Somebody tossed a cigarette out the window, and, you know, same thing on 71. We had another one somewhere else. Oh, down on Harrisburg in London. We had a couple trees on fire from somebody burning. So, you know, with the wind and the dry conditions on the upper brush, that, you know, it'll take off quickly. So it can get out of control pretty fast.
But it doesn't take off quickly after 6 p.m.?
Well, the wind dies down. So, believe it or not, I mean, that's one of the reasons.
I know it's not.
I'm just reciting the law. I don't want people to burn,
I
period, but I know it's a fact in Pleasant Township that people are gonna burn. So, you know, I'm a realist when it comes to that. I'm not gonna ask people not to burn. The law is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You know, when it gets cooler at night, the air gets heavier, you get a little bit of dew on the ground, that'll help dampen it. The other thing that helps dampen it is the wind. I mean, the wind does die down in the evening. So that is one of the reasons. So other than that, you know, check the ODNR. We've got the stuff posted on our Facebook page, the fire department Facebook page.
I think that's where.
Yeah, so we try to post that. I think it might be on the sign. I try to post that every spring.
I think they have it posted at the park too.
Yeah, the park's probably got to post it, and they're doing prescribed burns. So, but those are trained individuals that are doing actual. There's a science behind all that stuff that they called today, and they were burning today. But again, they're trained. They have firefighters, you know, wildland firefighters out there that they're you know, doing some training, and they're also, you know, they have the training to do that. So, at any rate, I haven't heard much from Pierce. I did exchange some emails with Al Bouchley from Pierce with the work that was approved at the last meeting, so that's being done. We're looking at potentially being ready to go for a final towards the end of the month or the beginning of April, but he hasn't given me a hard and fast date yet. So the tanker is out of service over the weekend. We had a sensor go bad, and there's that exhaust filter on there plugged up. So they were here today and fixed it, and it's back in service. They had to order parts. So that truck's back in service. The newer Medic 232 is at Rush for a depth sensor, again, exhaust issues. This is warranty work, so we sent it up there to get it done. I thought it would be back today, but hopefully tomorrow. They've been working on it since Monday. They said they were putting their next available technician on it. So also we're gathering quotes for local vendors for a brake job on that thing. It's going to be brakes. So I'm going to get a few quotes on that just to make sure we're getting the best deal we can. Utility truck had a new bumper installed. Thank you, Ed, for taking care of that. That was a nice cost savings. He was able to save us about $1,000 from the estimate we got to have the work done locally. The guys from 3 Unit and Firefighter Price installed that bumper on the truck, so it's done. We're still working through our filing cabinets and whatnot. Is that the filing cabinet you needed in here, Paula? Okay, good. We got that in here for you. So we're still working through that stuff and disposing of items and boxing them up and things like that. So we're almost done with the radio room. We're waiting the countertop that was ordered to finish that project up. We did some ice rescue training while the ice was still in good shape. Obviously, we've turned a corner with some of the weather, so hopefully we won't need to use the ice rescue training, but the crews were out doing that. We had some repairs made to the stove. One of the igniters was bad. That was a fiasco in of itself. That took months to get done. The new portable radios have been put in service. They were programmed from Grove City IT, and then we put them in service. We're waiting on them to do the mobiles now. With their project, they're working on a new CAD system, so there's not a lot of free time for those guys to get that stuff done, but we're waiting on that. So I put on here we'd respond to 2 working fires to make that 3. We had another one today in Prairie up on Amity Road. Saturday we had a trailer fire in Mount Sterling, and last night crews went to London for a commercial building. They had a gym or a fitness center on fire over there. Harrisburg United Methodist Church provided our crews a meal on Sunday with additional meals for the other 2 units. They brought us lasagna, salad, bread, pies, and other goodies. I would like to just thank the congregation and the pastor from the church for their generous donation of time and effort, and the food for our guys. It was very, very much appreciated. Very good stuff. There's more goodies than we could ever eat over there. If you guys are interested in some of it, please. There's pies and brownies and cakes and I mean all kinds of stuff. So
That was nice of them.
yeah, we've been working on that for a couple of months now. They wanted to do something. I think they wanted to do something a little more along the lines of some fellowship, but I was like, nah, we're not really doing that one right now. So they dropped it off Sunday and spent a few minutes with the guys and whatnot. So I had firefighter Shambaugh get into a boat technician water rescue class this week, so he's taking that class to get him up to speed on water rescue. A couple things that aren't on here that I thought of today while I was doing different things. Unfortunately, the Easter egg hunt and the flower sale has been canceled by the union, so we will not be having those events this year, for obvious reasons with COVID and whatnot. We're turning the corner on that, but we still need to be pretty cautious. We brainstormed some ways to maybe even do the Easter egg hunt, and we just thought the optics of it wouldn't be prudent, so we just postponed that for this year. And then Thursday, Lieutenant Will and Aaron Price, firefighter Price, will be traveling to Van Wert for the pre-con on our new medic. So that project will be getting started. I don't have a hard and fast date, but he's telling me probably somewhere in maybe late October, early November range for a delivery date on that truck. So for the coronavirus, there's 981,618 cases in Ohio as we pass the 1-year mark of the pandemic. If you remember, this was about the time last year he shut down the Arnold and things started really ramping up. So we've lost 17,662 Ohioans. We have 2,424 cases in Franklin County over the last 14 days. We remain red with 184 out of 184 cases per 100,000. With only 2 of our indicators met. So we're really heading in the right direction. We've just got to get below that 100 cases per 100,000 people before we'll come off the orange to get to orange. Really, we should be, if you look at the rest of the counties and the orange counties that are out there, that's where we should be. We have only 2 indicators, but because we're still above that 100 cases per 100,000 people, we're stuck in red. So we started thinking about even some of the restrictions here, getting back out and doing smoke alarms and fire inspections and some of the non-essential stuff that we've kind of put off for a while. So we're starting to kind of back that down and ways to do that stuff. So other than that, that's all I got for now.
Remember when I asked you to give me a rundown on equipment?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get this straight in my head. What's the truck back there?
That's the utility truck. That's utility 231.
Isn't there a fire truck back there?
Oh, the engine that's still back there.
Yes.
That's old engine 232. That's a 95 something. We're actually they put a trickle charger on that yesterday. We're trying to get it up and running so we can get out from back there and get it ready to be probably auctioned off on Gov Deals or public auction or however you guys want to auction that truck off.
Okay.
It's
But
been hiding back there for a while. I actually,
okay.
yeah, I mean, it's been hiding back in the back for a while, but yeah, we put a trickle charger on it yesterday. I don't know if they ended up getting it started or if they were, working on some other things. But we're trying to get it out from back there and get it up here somewhere where we can start prepping it for auction. I mean, it's surplus equipment at this
I
point.
thought there was one.
Yeah, there's one back there. I totally forgot about it. I thought you were referring to just our frontline equipment, not the stuff that's not really in service. So
I was just trying to keep track of everything. It's just,
yeah.
I don't write it down. I don't keep track.
No, and really, I refer that truck was known as engine 232 up until, now the Pierce will be engine 232 and Obviously, the Rosenbauer, the newer one, is engine 231, so that truck doesn't really have a designation anymore. It won't be an in-service piece, so.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Anything else for the chief? Okay, under old business, I have the recycling agreement that Joe Durham wants. We already discussed that with Paula, and he had it once and sent it back to us, so we'll send it back to him this time. Thank you, Paula. Any other old business? No? Nothing? Okay, under new business, Randy received the email from probably the same person that Robert had talked to.
It is, yeah.
That she lives in Oakhurst, the Oakhurst neighborhood. She says, I'm trying to find some assistance for our neighborhood roads. We do not have sidewalks or streetlights, and we have several children in the area. Unfortunately, we have an issue with people speeding in the neighborhood. I'm hoping you can help me figure out what my options are to help deal with this issue. I think sidewalks, speed bumps, and streetlights are good long-term goals, but I'm hoping to have some short-term solutions as well. Perhaps more speed limit signs or children at play signs. Would it be possible to have a sign that shows people how fast they are going? And then she thanked us for our time and assistance. And Deputy Carter sent an email out on March 2nd. He had talked to her about the speeders in the neighborhood. He advised her that currently the speed trailer is going to be in use elsewhere for the next month on Lambert Road. After that, he's going to take it to her neighborhood in Oakhurst. In the meantime, he said he can do some speed enforcement and in the near future, and also he talked with her about having a neighborhood block watch. She was very receptive for that idea, so he sent her information to possibly start a block watch. Okay, and then we received an email with concerns about 5585 Dawn Drive, deplorable conditions, reports of teens living in the garage of the home that had burnt 10 years ago or so, trash piled up, people in and out all hours of the night, revving engines, causing a lot of noise, activity, abandoned vehicles, possibly a dog there left for days. Deputy Carter went out on Wednesday, and his response was he received the email from Trustee Hunter on this complaint. He went to 5585 Dawn Drive and made contact with the resident. He identified the males that were there at the time, and all of them were adults. He advised them of the loud noise complaints from neighbors in the area, as well as the unsightly look of the trash piled up in front of the property. The gentleman began picking up the trash. The trash was all in bags and placing it in a truck to take to the dump. He stated that they will make sure that everyone in the residence will keep the noise down. And Deputy Carter also looked at their call history of that address and on that street, and the sheriff's office has only been there in the area at that house 2 times in the last year, and those were to assist on medic runs. And he will advise if there is any consistent problems. He told them to please have everyone call the radio room at 614-525-3333. That is for non-life-threatening calls, and 911 for life-threatening emergencies. It's important to receive these calls so we can track and have more of a patrol presence in the area. He will continue to monitor the area and watch for progress and watch for any dispatched calls in that area so we can help solve this issue. And our new code enforcement officer called this afternoon, and he plans to start looking into Dawn Drive next week.
Nancy,
Yes, go ahead, Robert.
a new code enforcement with zoning.
Yes,
Okay, I'd like to get that information from you also, because it's not Paul Eberts anymore.
He retired.
Okay, well, good for him.
it's Patrick Young.
Okay,
They've only hired one. They're going to hire two, but so far they've hired Patrick Young.
okay,
I'll email you his information,
okay,
his
thank you.
contact information.
You include me on that as well, Chris.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, any other new business? Okay,
Yes. Are you aware, Chief, that there's going to be road closure on 62 and 71 from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., I believe on the 16th and 17th?
I saw a sign today, but I haven't received any notice on it yet.
They may not give you notice, but
Okay.
probably ought to get the information off of that sign so the guys don't get.
Yeah, we were down we were down 71 for that grass fire, and when I was going through there, I seen something about a road close on.
7 p to 6 a, and I believe it's the 16th and the 17th.
Is it just the ramp, or are they closing the whole road?
I would assume they're doing something to the bridge over 62.
Okay. I know before they've had ramp closures, and they don't really tell us that, but we don't go that way to get on the freeway, northbound especially.
But he might be going that way.
Yeah. If we need to go under the bridge and the bridge is closed, that could be a problem. So,
Yes.
yeah, we'll figure that one out. Thank you.
Okay.
anything else? Okay, for announcements, we received an invitation for the annual Franklin County District Advisory Council meeting on Thursday, March 25th at 6 p.m. That's the one that they always held at the dinner that we went
The
to.
boat house.
Yes.
Yeah.
For that, and then you go for the health department, they have to place a doctor on there. This meeting will be held virtually on Zoom. The District Advisory Council meeting is required by state statute, Iowa Revised Code 3709.03, to meet for the purpose of appointing a chairman and secretary for the District Advisory Council, to appoint a member to the Franklin County Board of Health, and to conduct other required businesses needed. Voting members on the District Advisory Council are the chair of each group of township trustees, the village mayors, the president of the Board of Commissioners. It is essential we have a quorum to be able to conduct the business meeting as required. If you are the voting member and are unable to attend, an alternate can vote in your place, but it must be another trustee or member of your village council. And I went ahead and RSVP'd that I would attend it. That happens to be the same day as our negotiations. So Chief, if I bring my computer, my laptop, can I get on the internet here?
Yep.
Will that?
You just need the Wi-Fi password.
We've got a public
All right.
Wi-Fi that, no
I'll
problem.
probably do that, just come down here at 6 so that I'm here whenever it's over.
Absolutely. We'll get you hooked up.
Okay. And that computer that we have, that we purchased, like all three of us had,
Okay.
that'll do the same. I can get online.
You
Is
should
that
be able
one?
to, yes.
Do you have? Is the dual thing already? I can't unless I'm.
Well, if it's set up correctly, once she comes in the building, she should get on the network and be fine. So,
I'll have to connect.
I'll bring it down and try it out first.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, stop in one day. I'll take a look at
If
it.
not, call Joe while you're here and he can probably walk you through
Okay,
and remote in and all that if you're on the.
Yeah, because you'll need a laptop, because you'll need a
Okay.
microphone and a camera, and none of the desktops have microphone the camera, so we'll need definitely one. And worst case is if we can't get yours working that night,
I can bring my own
I
personal,
can get mine and give it to you for half
I can
hour.
bring my personal laptop.
That
I
would work
used to
too,
get,
so
so
we have plenty of options. I
as
think we
long
can
as
make it work.
it could get on the Wi-Fi.
Yep, I think we can make it work, ma'am.
Okay. Any other announcements?
Is Robert still on the?
I'm still on.
I didn't know if, you knew that the gentleman that was building the new house at, Avon by Cedar, he has died.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. His wife is, she's want to, continue building, but I don't know if you knew that he passed away, since you're probably working with him on the legalities of, or whatever, of the drainage and stuff like that.
Well, me and Brooke Fresher from Franklin Soil and Water have been advising him on controls to keep erosion down and trying to keep like the heavy rains from washing down the street. And then his wife did contact both me and Brooke that Mr. Fennell had passed away and she's still planning on building.
Yeah.
We're kind of waiting to see what her plans are and what kind of timeline she's got in mind there. So
Well, I knew, Mark was taking his time on it, but, hey, people gotta do what they gotta do. And I know some of the neighbors were bothered by the mud that was going into their garages from it for a while, but, other than that, I was kind of glad to see him coming into the neighborhood. Seemed like a pretty good guy, but unfortunately he passed.
yeah, the couple times I talked to him, he seemed like a nice gentleman. So, but yeah, hopefully they keep working on that and they can get that project finished and the soil stabilized and cut down on the runoff.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I had.
Thank you. Okay, Paula?
Okay, at the last meeting, you guys had authorized me to sign some paperwork, for that teledoc, and then I had talked to Nancy and she told me, hold off till we talk to my board and kind of go over the stuff. So now you're good with me signing that and sending it in?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, the commissioners had a rezoning hearing scheduled for today, but that was canceled. The Board of Zoning Appeals, has a meeting scheduled for March the 15th. Received information from the Franklin County Farm Bureau that they are going to have their policy development luncheon on April the 6th. Some paperwork from, or a copy of information on injured worker from worker comp. I received some different information that Randy forwarded to us on the lawsuit. Just some information from Franklin County Soil and Water about their program updates. Ohio Township Association legislative alerts.
That was quite a long list.
Sedgwick, which is the new company instead of CareWorks, sent out like a newsletter. Some information from BWC on, again, the switch over from Sedgwick, or to Sedgwick, sorry. The Ohio Department of Commerce is proposing some new rule changes. That I think Nancy already mentioned, the Franklin County District Advisory Council meeting on March 25th. Franklin County Children's Services jobs and a few other listing. For some reason, they've started sending job availability listing out. Ohio BWSC has a customer satisfaction survey. Several emails from the Bureau of Worker Comp. Most of those have to do with the virus information, just different updates. Morpsey announced they were the recipient of the 2021 William Anderson Award, was the mayor of Whitehall. Just to update a list of contacts for Burnham and Flowers, the State Township Association newsletter, and their magazine, and that's everything I have.
Thank you. Do we have anything else? Okay, we need an executive session. So before we go in executive session, do you have anything you wanted to bring up?
No, I just, the two things that I brought up, the one gentleman dying down there, just building a house, and then, the concern about how the trash price went up considerably with our free, recycling bins. So, that's all I had.
All right, thank you. Okay, I move to go in executive session according to the Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22G1 and 4, for the purpose of discussing firefighter personnel and negotiations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee,
Yes.
Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes.